Nah, for real. And for most people, school is like the main thing.
Yeah.
But even for me, like, yeah, school's like on the back burner.
It's just an add-on, right? Like whether I succeed or not, right? Like it's just part of the whole process.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
I'm considered a full-time student.
Yeah.
And when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, like that's like your main thing." I'm like, "Yeah, not really."
No. There's
My main thing is running this, seeing friends, enjoying my youth,
just being a guy,
Yeah.
living life, right?
and then I had to go to class.
A lot of
sometimes.
people let themselves be defined by the main thing that they're doing. Don't be doing that. What is it? Jack of all trades, master of none, but
Still better than master of one.
has a word like this. Look at that.
Oh, yo!
You understand?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast.
Yours truly,
Ethan Durrett,
Renee. This just Renee for now.
Diakite.
Yep.
So, this is not just another episode.
This is episode MF20.
Episode 20.
Episodio 20.
Episode 20.
Yeah.
We are trilingual.
I'm trilingual.
I'm dilingual.
Bilingual.
Bilingual.
We are always back. We always say we're back, but now we're back and it's episode 20. That means we've been at this for almost 6 months?
5 months.
5 months. How does that feel?
It's spectacular to see that something that we, thought about, imagined.
In your old place, just post it up.
Yeah. And it's all a realization in all this,
We got lights, left, right, center.
We got camera, we got action, we have it all.
We have clap.
I'm just happy to see like all the people that we've
reached out to
and all the people that we've kind of, associated with, and I just think the podcast is going to be a lifelong thing that's really just going to just carry us through everything.
This is phase 1. I don't want to call all the other episodes like prototype episodes, like just like random stuff, cuz no, we put effort into those obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like episode 20 is a good mark to say this is where it's getting real. Cuz we've been at this for 20 episodes. We know what's up. Episode 19 was kind of the last straw when the phone died.
Yeah,
and we were like, oh,
that was awful.
yeah,
that really hurt.
And now I'm like, yo, plug it in.
I have a couple of friends that were like, yeah, like I need the video. I'm like, oh shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Y'all need the video? Y'all need to see our beautiful faces? I wouldn't hold
Uh-huh.
you. I wouldn't hold you.
Nah, for real.
Not everyone's built for Spotify.
But honestly, we have some really big things coming for the 20s.
We've been saying that, but it's true.
Yeah. We're going to start doing some more things.
Get more faces on here. Get more people, more perspectives, more opinions, more topics, more everything.
Yes.
More clips. See that soon.
That's going to be the really big thing. We're going to start doing our clips. So stay tuned for those.
Just all the podcast things, but done proper. So.
Yeah. Follow all of our socials so you guys can find those.
Yeah, there's links everywhere. Look in the description. If you like what you're seeing, obviously subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Like it so we keep making more. But, if you don't like it, we're going to make more anyway. And then follow all of the, podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, everything that it's on. Get those out there because it really helps us out. I think it's if you rate the Apple podcast, it starts showing up places.
Oh, really?
So, simple. Literally just go there, down below in the description, anchor.fm/reunfiltered, and run it up.
For real?
And run it up.
Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a shorter episode. We kind of just want to talk about what it's taken to come to episode 20. And we want to talk about our plans with the future. It's kind of just
checkpoint.
like checkpoint, exactly.
The checkpoint.
It's a re-intro, some would say.
There you go. Oh my God, there you go. You said it. That makes me happy. I'm happy. All
it's a checkpoint, and we're just here to check it out, to kind of just share
intro.
share
Some might
what's
say.
up with you guys.
We started off with everything hooked up to a phone. Now we got the MacBook sitting there. We got the audio interface, and the quality's been also improving steadily.
Yeah.
We kind of know what to do now. We don't just sit down in the chair and like, okay, let's just hit record. We kind of have plans and stuff. And I was even today at work while I was editing the clips and whatnot, because I'm learning how to do that. Obviously I'm starting off from one and then moving forward, just so I can learn the groove of things.
Yeah.
I was rewatching the first episode and I was like, damn. Like, even just within the few months, there's like more of an air, not of maturity, but like of experience to us,
Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
Especially with like the quality of our videos.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's gotten like beautifully better. Like
Mhm.
we have an intro now.
Oh, beautiful.
We
Love
have
that.
we have lights, we have a backdrop, we have
Mhm. All the
um,
essentials.
really, really good setup. We have a nice table here. Everything, it just looks really good. It's beautiful. It looks really good.
Cannot complain. It kind of ties in. If you guys haven't checked out the last episode, check that out. But ties into being thankful,
Mm-hmm.
right? Thankful for everything that's been going on, and then just turning the page, because there's always more to be done. I know a lot of our friends say that. There's more to be done.
There's always more to be done. But it is good to sit back and, just be thankful for what's being done.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest things you guys can expect from us, hopefully before the new year.
Yeah.
We're
Or if
kind
not,
of,
sometime immediately after.
yeah, within the next 6 months is kind of my range, 5-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Really good quality clips on Instagram, TikTok,
Basically everything you can find it on.
YouTube. I think we're gonna make a Twitter and Facebook. Just have it everywhere.
I mean, it exists.
Yeah, it does. And then you guys can expect mini series. So that's kind of something that we're gonna kind of like try to drop into. So have
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 episodes where we focus on one topic and we have a couple different guests that come on and talk about those topics.
Mhm.
And those episodes would be a little bit shorter. The series would probably be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, max.
Cool, like group discussions. I think would be
exactly.
a good idea to have as well. Like, get more people on. We'll get expansions, more mics, stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
That live audience thing needs to happen too.
I
just
think
remembered about that one.
I really want to do that soon.
I think that would be fun. I think that would be within not even the 6 months, kind of just a month or two range.
Let's just say that we're going to be doing a lot of networking.
Yeah.
We've been kind of,
It's been I don't want to say it's tough, right? Because there's also been not laziness, but just reluctance to do a few things,
yeah.
just generally. But it like I just said, you're flipping the page. But there's been moments where we're kind of hesitant or things haven't happened.
What there's been is
Majoritarily-
there's been a lot of pause
Yeah.
and a lot of disappointment. And we haven't been receiving what's been promised.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to take things into our own hands and we're
Mhm.
going to deal with it by
Yeah.
ourselves.
And majoritarily too, right? Like, you also got to think about the busy schedules, right?
Yeah.
Like the only
had
time
to move it to Wednesday.
Yeah. The only time, yeah, we went from Tuesday to Wednesday. Yeah, that's one thing that's happened in the last 2 months, I believe. You're always, not always, but, most of the time at school, then it's work, then it's practice. He's a runner, a big guy. And then I'm working 8 hours a day usually. And then the schedule just sucks, kind of, because it's, 11:30 to 8. So that's kind of like the whole day. And while I do work on this while I'm at actual work, it's hard to keep up with it. And
Yeah,
not-
11:30 to 8 is a weird day.
Yeah, it's a weird shift.
It's like do I sleep in until right before I need to go to work?
Nah,
then-
it's wake up, work out, go to work, and then
Yeah,
when
I know,
when
but
you get home, it's
that's like
oh.
the other option. But like, do I sleep in until I go to work and then stay up really late, or do I get home from work and then get to bed early and then wake up early? Like it's like one or the other.
Yeah, it's like the whole day, right? It's like the whole day.
Yeah,
is
like I
taken.
used to work like a 1 to 9 shift,
Mhm.
and same thing. It's so awkward. Like you
Mhm.
can't really have any plans. You can't go anywhere. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
unless you're going out at night, which we were talking about that a few episodes ago. What I was doing, especially throughout like the last month of the summer, was just going out at night because there wasn't really anything else to do. And then most of the time I'd just be going home, working on this or working out, and then falling asleep.
Yeah.
So just not an excuse again, but it's kind of hard to work around that sometimes. But slowly but surely getting a firmer grasp on things, and like you said, taking a lot into our own hands. If you guys want your job done right, you got to do it yourself. If you want to see results, you got to do it yourself. If you want to do what you want to do, you got to put it out yourself. It's our thing. R-E, Unfiltered.
The biggest thing that I hate is having the ball be in someone else's court. I really just don't like relying on people.
Yeah.
I like having full control at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Within reason. Like, I'm not like a dickhead, but I like knowing what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. I don't like, owing people money. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like any of that.
You just gotta kind of staying in your own
I don't
lane.
even like renting. Like, renting makes me uncomfortable too, because there's that level of uncertainty, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do have like more control over, like, you can leave whenever you want, but I just don't like having a hand, floating over my head,
Yeah. Which is how life is lived a lot of the time, right? Like, a lot of people don't realize it, but nothing
for the
is
younger
really,
years, definitely.
Nothing is really yours, especially, even in general in life.
I mean, the government, the government's always kind of like
bank.
the hand. The bank. Yeah.
Huge one.
Unless
we're
you
not
just
gonna get
keep
too
all your cash under
political.
your mattress.
I keep that in the yard, bro, under the grass.
This guy buries it. Okay, Pablo.
But just working on everything, getting everything lined up, and then the content just swoop.
Yeah.
So that's the next few months plan.
I think honestly, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna plan out 2 months strict content relation, dropping clips, subjects,
right? Because this
guests.
is like you said, this is the checkpoint episode. And again, 20 episodes in, we're sitting here and we've done a lot, right? Like,
we have progress, but now we need to look at it and say, this is what's really good about us. This is what's not as good, and let's be the best that we can be.
You got to be honest with ourselves. I mean, there's a lot of things that have been good. I've heard some people be like, "Hey, this episode you guys could have done better, but it's still good." And
the smartest people
feedback
are the people that can point out their flaws.
Mm-hmm.
The people that like to pretend that they don't exist and push them to the side.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are gonna always gonna be suffering in life. Mm-hmm. But if we can look at what we've done, be honest with ourselves, say, this wasn't amazing, that wasn't amazing, and kind of pinpoint a few things.
Yeah.
I wanna get together not only to record but also to analyze.
Yeah. We'll have to see each other more for that.
Yes, and like, it's not a bad thing.
Gotta make some time. The last few weeks has been the podcast is the only time I see this guy.
Yeah,
and
straight up,
which is just life. But
it is what it is.
We'll fix the schedule, fix everything else. We'll fix. One of the things I really like about this podcast, about the culture, about everything that we're doing and trying to do, is the amount of people, that I just see outside, my friends mostly, and they're just like, "Hey bro, like, I watched the podcast, watched that episode, y'all were spitting facts that was really good, that actually helped me."
That's the thing, like, I don't only want it to be my friends though.
Yeah, wanted to have a further influence, but it's still really heartwarming. It still really makes me happy, makes me reflect that like, this isn't for nothing, right? Because this also allows people to see a different side of us.
Yeah.
Right? Like, R-E Unfiltered doesn't only stand for, we say whatever we want, whenever we want kind of thing, but it's also like that level of vulnerability that we have with the viewer, that we have with each other, with the guest, whoever's on here, right? Those added layers help us be even more transparent that we are in our day-to-day lives. Mm-hmm. And then people will see our perspectives and our actual real opinions on things, that, because a lot of the time, I don't really act serious. I don't like acting serious. Not that this is like super, like one of the things you'd watch on CNN or, something like that. But I'm usually more laid back, usually goofy. But I love having deep topics, deep conversations with people That's like my thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that really rolls off the tongue. You have to get to a certain point to have those deep conversations.
I think you need to have this certain relationship.
Yeah.
I've had a couple with some like random strangers.
And that does happen too. And those are kind of awesome.
Those are interesting. You know,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the only time we're ever gonna talk. I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, those are always fun.
Mhm.
I definitely enjoy that kind of conversation.
Mhm.
I think it's really important to talk to as many random people as you can, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you're, on the bus, walking to class,
Don't be
walking around the
scared
mall in
to talk
public.
to people. Don't be scared to talk to people straight up.
Yeah.
Just like, because that's so enlightening, so enriching. Like, I've been mentioning my coworkers a lot and how we've been having like these deep conversations because we be working 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And, even those simple conversations that evolve into something so much deeper, right? It gives me material to think about, gives me like added things to add to my own character. Just a bunch of different things, right?
I'm always just talking to random people.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be in line at like Tim Hortons on campus waiting for my coffee.
Yeah.
And I'll just be talking to some random person like, what'd you order?
Straight up.
They'd be like, a coffee. I'll be like, shit. Me too. Be like, you come here often?
You got some sleep, bro? Because I didn't.
Nah, for real.
Just simple things like that. You gotta incorporate that. We're social creatures. I've been saying that a lot too in these episodes, and that's just one of the things you gotta get out there, put yourself out there, right? Because that's the only way we gonna grow. That's the only way we gonna grow. And like I said, just incorporating those elements into our videos and who we are, and letting other people see that is really awesome. It's really awesome. I've had also a few people reach out to me and go, hey, man, like what you guys said on the podcast really helped me. Like, I'm doing this now because of it, and it's just kind of shifted my perspective a little bit. And then, just hearing that, and then, like, I wouldn't really expect this of you, but like when I watched the podcast, I was like, damn, like that's legit. That's real shit. Like, good stuff. Keep it up.
True.
And then a lot of people who are like, hey, don't stop. Like, this is going to take you far.
The thing I like about the podcast is, we can talk about whatever we want because this is
Yeah.
our creation.
Yeah.
And there's like no real room for judgment. Like, anyone
Mm.
can say whatever they want, but like it doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
We get to choose what feedback and relevancy that it has upon us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, we only take in the positive stuff, obviously. And that's just the way it is. Like,
Mhm.
it honestly, I could care less about what some random hater says because we're out
Johnny
here.
and Ashley.
Johnny and Ashley, because we're out here and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
That's straight up how it do be.
Like, and we are just as capable of doing this and as anyone else is.
Anyone
This is like very easy.
anyone who's out there,
It's
right?
easy to do, but it's very difficult to maintain, right?
Yeah,
and you
to
need to have the
pursue.
passion. You need to like I love doing this.
Mhm.
There's some days where I'm like not really in the mood.
Yeah. We've had a lot of those days too. We've had a lot of days where we sit down, we record like 5 minutes, and then I just start laughing, and I'm like, bro, nah, we can't, not today.
Yeah.
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 And it's all part of the creative process, but it's the persistence, the consistency that keeps us here.
That's literally why we've missed a couple weeks,
Yeah.
right? Just 'cause like we're not gonna put out some doo-doo content.
Nah, I think overall, we've only even missed like once or twice.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from
Yes.
just posting.
It was
sometime in
yeah.
July, I think.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And I'm happy we didn't miss last week.
Yeah.
That was clutch.
Yeah, exactly.
That was super clutch.
super
What did we
clutch.
used to record the audio on?
We used to record the audio straight from the iPhone, right? Like we had the hookup,
And it was straight to this.
and it was straight to the audio.
So it wasn't two
interface.
separate-
Nah, it wasn't like two separate pieces of like video and audio.
It was just one thing.
It was just one thing, and it was
Aw.
super fucking annoying to work with.
Yeah, that's garbage.
So bad.
Yeah.
But
and then you couldn't
like-
even separate it to do like Spotify and stuff.
nah, like you could, but then it would sound like ass, and it's just
Yeah.
not amazing. But
Yeah. So I'm happy that like we're there.
going through the motions.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to see that other people are viewing us go through the motions, right?
True.
And
True.
I was gonna say earlier too, there's even been like bouts of inspiration that we've given other people, like, hey, I'm doing this. Seeing you guys do this has made me want to start my own channel, or make me want to start doing my own content on TikTok, or very few far in between. You know, like that's not like, I'm not saying we see that every day kind of thing. We're not even nowhere close to that. But there's been like maybe like 5 handful of people that have just said that too, and it's like, it's good, man. It's good.
That's the
you,
culture,
you
bro.
gotta think,
that's the family.
Yeah, you gotta think about what influence and what effect you have on other people's lives,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not to say that, oh, because I'm doing this, someone else is gonna. No, it's just the simple fact that we're out here makes other people want to be out here too.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And like, we're not better than anyone because
Nah.
we're trying to hustle and motivate.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
And that's the point. That's the integral piece. I kind of want to touch. We were just upstairs, and you were showing me that clip, right, of the self-help, self-improvement kind of culture that's so popular on social media.
I mean,
nowadays.
honestly, we kind of promote it. Right.
We definitely do. I'm not gonna go out and say no.
We talk about, always being productive,
Yeah.
always getting work done, making
Yeah.
sure that you're not wasting time. But that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, there's got to be the bout of realism. We said it in episode 4 or 5 ish. We were talking about, your life is boring. This is why. Straight up, we just flat out said that.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people watch the first few minutes of that episode and go, "Yo, guys, what the fuck?" And then they finished the episode and they were like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Because we started it off with that. But then we were like, if you're happy with just not being normal, but if you're happy with your life, don't feel like you have to do all this extra shit, right?
Yeah.
There's different things that feed different people, right?
Well, like, just because we don't find it productive to go hang out with friends all the time, and drink and party and watch football, watch sports, like do all those things, just because we don't find that productive and fulfilling doesn't mean that someone else doesn't.
There's a lot of different things, that people take to account, right? Like, what I do doesn't always satisfy you, and what you would do doesn't always satisfy me, right? Like, base example, I can't go out run for like an hour and a half and then come back home every single day. If I wanted to, I could probably get to that point or somewhere close. But that just doesn't do it for me, right? Like, I don't want to do that, right? But to you, that's just natural. It comes naturally, right? Like, that's your sport. That's who you are. That's a part of who you are.
Exactly.
Right?
Piece of my identity.
I was doing streaming for a little bit, but I've slowed down with that. I haven't streamed in a little while just because it's so hard to balance everything, especially now that I've switched to full-time, right? Like, I have to have a certain amount of hours, and then I want to also be buff, so I've been working out and do all that, right?
Yeah, you look good.
And just working off of all that, but it doesn't work for everybody. What I want people to know is that on RE Unfiltered, we don't just promote, self-help. I want to say we almost promote common sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just think about it.
There's a fine line between needing self-help, right? Because, like, if you're, like, just dying, killing yourself, eating unhealthy, not working out, then you do need the self-help, right?
Not even professional help at that point, but I get what you're saying.
But if you're just trying to, be better, do better, or even if you're not, if you're just happy where you're at, then I just keep doing what you're doing. Like, they say that being happy is enjoying the pastime. Yeah. Enjoying time pass.
Yeah.
That's what being happy is, right?
My best friend other than you, right? He just started college this year, and he was sitting there, and he was like, "Yo, Renee," right? And keep in mind, we don't talk that much right now because I've been so busy with everything, right?
Yeah.
But he hits me up one day, and he's like, "Yo, Renee," like, I was sitting in class today, and I just thought about it, and I was like, all these people are sitting here, most of them content and happy with what they're doing, only to be sitting in an office from 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And they're happy with that. And I was like, yeah, bro, like, you're starting to see it. And he's like, yeah, like, that's insane. That's crazy. I could never do that. And I was like, well, good.
I go to class every day, and I'm just like,
not to call everybody NPCs, right? Not to put it.
Well,
I'm
dude,
not
I don't
dick like that, but
I don't go to class with the intent of becoming an accountant
Yeah.
or becoming a financial advisor or like
Mhm.
anything like that. Like that's not why I go to class.
Yeah.
I go to class to learn the information that will lead me to be able to, start my own things, right?
Exactly. That's I want to start doing kinesiology next year, not because I want to be a physiotherapist or a kinesiologist or a doctor, right? I just think that that's the most logical path for me to take because it's going to help me do what I want to do in my future endeavors, right? Like whenever I get my YouTube channel going, like my own personal things and my vlogs and my workouts and all that, right? Like
You'll have a certification.
I won't just be some dude on the internet.
You'll be legit.
I'll be a dude with a degree,
Yeah.
right?
And sadly, in this, well, not necessarily sadly, but in this world, that piece of paper takes you a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, that is a solid foundation behind your name. People take you a lot more seriously than if you were just reading books in a library.
Yeah.
Whether or not the education is equal. People just take you a lot more seriously when you have that behind you.
The other thing is education is constantly evolving, right? You got to think about it that way too.
Yeah.
Right? Like the upright row, which was like a super big bodybuilding thing before that you would do, this movement right there. Yeah. YouTube people saw what I did. That was like the shoulder exercise. Like you want big shoulders, do the upright row, right? And now fast forward a few years later, we're in the 21st century, and everybody's like, if you do that, you're gonna fuck your shit up. Don't do that exercise anymore.
Yeah.
Right? There's some people that still do it because it works for them, and then they're built differently. Not everybody has the same like muscle, skeleton, whatever. Right? But for the most part, it's generally agreed upon that, that's old news, right?
Shit changes every year,
Right?
like year to year. Like you literally need to get updated courses.
That's
even textbooks, dude. In school, like they're like, oh no, you can't use last year's textbook. I'm like,
that's
what?
That's also why I'm not in a hurry to pursue my education. I don't want to derail too far off the topic, but this is just adding to the video, right? Because I don't want to be in a hurry to get the degree done. Like I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do the minimum amount to be full time so I'm eligible for all these perks and stuff that will help me live, right?
Yeah.
But all my other plans come first. School is like an add on.
Nah, for real. And for most people, school is like the main thing.
Yeah.
But even for me, like, school's like on the back burner.
It's just an add on, right? Like whether I succeed or not, right? Like it's just part of the whole process.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
I'm considered a full-time student.
Yeah.
And when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, like that's like your main thing." I'm like, "Yeah, not really."
No. There's
my main thing is running this, seeing friends, enjoying my youth,
just being a guy, living life, right?
And then I had to go to class. Sometimes.
A lot of people let themselves be defined by the main thing that they're doing. Don't be doing that. What is it? Jack of all trades, master of none, but
still better than a master of one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? You want to look at it that way because so many people let themselves be defined by what they're doing as a whole, right? Like I'm a student, which means I have to be at school for X hours a week and that's all I'm allowed to do. No. That's you chose that. If that's what you want to do, then good for you. But if you don't want to do that, don't feel like you have to.
Personally, I'll put it in the amount of work that I know will give me the results that I'm looking for.
There's so much pressure. There's such a big amount of pressure, and this is a generational thing from like our parents, from like our mentors, from everybody, right? Like school is the logical next step, but now that we're in an age 2022 where we're thinking a little more ahead, and especially people who will watch this in the future, like you'll just start to know that that's not the only thing you're allowed to do. You can do whatever you want. You just have to make sure you have like a concrete plan. You can't just be wasting your time, right?
Yeah, you don't want to just be wandering around. You do need to like have an outline, You know what they say, a dumbass with a plan is going to be more successful than a genius with no plan.
Exactly.
And I always like to resort back to the two stone men who are thinking, and one of them gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
And the other one's still there thinking. And a person that does for 20 minutes will be a lot more successful than a person that thinks for 20 minutes.
I want to have that statue in an office one day. Let's do that.
Just like walking.
Yeah.
One walking and one sitting still.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
Yo, we gotta get like the next Michelangelo on that, bro.
That'd be so sick in
Gotta
an
get
office.
Leonardo da Vinci.
The centerpiece.
Yeah, exactly. And the desk
And
behind it
have
to
it
the
like
side.
have it in like a big glass.
RE headquarters 2035.
Dude, imagine having
Catch us out there.
it in like a big glass
Yeah.
frame, and then having like it cut out in like wood, right? And then having the guy walking away, and then the guy
Visionaries were visualizing.
and then you'd have his footsteps.
That'd be sick.
That would get less and less faint, right? Because you're coming towards something that's concrete. So his footsteps are gonna get more and more deep.
RE office 2035, sometime around there. Catch us out there. What do you say?
That is so dope.
What do you say?
Episode
I'm
20.
saying. Let
Thank
it
you
sink
guys.
in. Let it sink in.
Thank you guys for everything.
We're not just promoting self-help, 'cause the culture on that is so strong, and it's almost lost its meaning 'cause there's so much of it out there. Andrew
Yeah.
Tate, Sneeko, a bunch of other different guys. Nah, man.
Hamza Unfiltered.
Hamza Unfiltered. No. Use common sense, right? Use common
Yeah.
sense. That's what we got to say. Thank you so much for supporting us. Big shout out to Crown, also doing a lot of shit with them soon. So
yeah.
check out in the description below. We got hoodies coming soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm copying one of those. I don't know about you.
Oh, I already had a custom one coming in for me.
Yes, sir. Winter season for
It's
us
gonna
in
be
Canada.
dope.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. What's up?
Episode 20 of Unfiltered. Love you all.